What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Have you ever looked at a costume or a crazy outfit and thought to yourself, I wish there was a more modernized or simplified version of this outfit so that I could wear it all the time or wear it any day of the week, so that I could go to the grocery store and still look sane while wearing a version of an 18th century Marie Antoinette ball gown?
No one in all of human history has ever said that.
I have to admit, I look at outfits and I think of this all the time. Like, I would love to go to a tea party and wear a huge ball gown, but putting this on is a little inconvenient. So it would be easier if there was a more simplified version of some of these outfits that I would like to wear to make my life easier, of course. So today I'm going to modernize or simplify the outfit of Sally's from The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I have to admit, I was staring at some of her pictures this year, and I've actually made her dress, like her costume, and it is very costumey, and I was thinking how cute it would be to have a skirt of hers, and that's what actually got me thinking that I wanted to make a more simplified version of her dress. But I really wanted to make a skirt based off of her dress because that would be cute.
That is so fetch.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. Don't you just love Mean Girls?
More than life itself.
That is seriously one of my favorite movies. I just love that movie. Like, if I'm feeling down, like, that's a movie I'll put on. Anyway, so the first thing I need to do to make this skirt is to grab some fabric. And of course that means, yes, I have to go to Joann Fabrics, which is crazy stupid expensive right now. I went through all my fabric I already have and even all of my buckets that I have filled with thrifted clothes because I was hoping not to have to get any kind of new material. I hate buying new material. If you can get things thrifted or if you can have things already on hand, I think that is the best way to go. But unfortunately, I have to go to Joann Fabrics for this, and just the prices are crazy right now. I always end up spending so much more than I anticipate whenever I go.
I'll need a little money from the ATM.
Denied, denied, approved.
All right, let's do this.
Definitely don't need it.
Okay, so after Joann's bent me over, I went ahead and got some super cute material. I did want a turquoise color, but I couldn't find the right one, so I went with this light blue. And of course I have some black. I thought this one was really pretty. I think this is gonna look really nice, and I was excited to find this one because it has stripes, which means I won't have to put that into the material itself. And of course, purple. Now you can use a light pink for this as well, but I went with purple, and I also got just plain yellow, and I found this green material as well, so that I can just have this like plethora of materials all throughout the full outfit. So I've done a ton of research looking at her outfit and looking at some versions of her outfit and the materials and all of that good stuff. And obviously none of her material is just plain. So I need to change some of the materials because I couldn't find the exact replicas of these materials. Like, I couldn't find the purple with swirls or purple with black stripes. And I do want to add some stripes, but you can do this with fabric paint, which I have actually a lot of fabric paint. You can also do this with fabric markers. And my biggest thing is to make sure that I create enough material to create a top as well as a skirt. So I'm gonna have to be really careful making this material. I wanna make sure that I measure correctly because I wanna have enough for a skirt as well as a top. Okay, let's get started.
I tested different ways to put swirls onto the fabric, the first one being hand painted and the second using the tube itself to just draw directly onto the fabric, which was clearly the better choice. I also tried blotting to have it not be so thick, and all that did was smear the paint everywhere. So I just added the swirls and let them dry as is.
I'm gonna let these fully dry overnight. These actually don't take that long to dry, but I like to be on the safe side. And I have this one and this one. And you can see like all of the little squigglies. It's definitely a process, and we shall resume this tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day, and all of the material that I used the fabric paint on is completely dry, and it looks so good. So my plan was to go ahead and just cut out the skirt and the top, which I already did in a solid color. So I went ahead and cut out the skirt and I cut out the top in black, and I'm gonna go ahead and consider that like an underlining, and then I'm gonna use that skirt to go ahead and figure out where I want these pieces to go, because as you know, Sally's skirt is completely kind of jigsawed together. I'm so sorry, I'm doing a little laundry, so if you hear that in the background, that's what that noise is. So her skirt is completely kind of jigsawed, or her dress is jigsaw pieces together, and then it's supposed to look like it's stitched together individually. And I need to be able to do that. So I went ahead and cut out all the pieces I needed to be able to do that. And then I don't want to start cutting out her material yet until I can lay it on the actual skirt and the top to get an idea of where I want these pieces to go. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Let's do this.
To piece together her skirt, I first laid down the cutout pattern piece as my underlining and template, and then I started to lay the material I had created or drawn on over top, tracing out what I wanted it to look like on the actual skirt. I added extra seam allowance before cutting it out, and then I pinned that piece to the skirt to figure out my next piece. Once everything was put together, it was time to add some stitching details, just like on Sally's original dress. I wanted something noticeable, but not as thick as yarn, so I ended up using embroidery thread. First thing I did was take off the lining piece underneath so that when I add the stitches, you won't actually see it underneath the skirt when it's complete. Then I just went in on each piece that had been connected and added stitching. And you don't actually have to be precise on this because Sally's skirt was definitely not precise. And then just pull up a chair and put on a good movie because you still have a lot left to do. The more patches you add, the more hand stitches you're going to have to create.
Which lever do I pull to be crushed by a safe?
I did all of the little stitches on it and it is so cute. I am so far loving it. I'm so excited. I think it's gonna turn out really, really cute. I am supposed to be taking it easy today because I have been fighting off a cold all week. It's been really annoying. My body has been feeling not its usual peppy self, which is, I hate colds. I hate how they make you feel just like run down when you really don't want to feel like that. It's like your body, like you have your brain has like no control over your body. So I've been resting, but today I'm feeling better. So I went ahead and did all the stitches, if you can see. So I can go ahead and piece this together now, and I can go ahead and put the top together as well. So let's get this done. Okay, so I finally put in the darts for the top, and look, I love how it's like, before it was just this rectangle, and then once I put in all the darts, you can kind of see how it's got like form to it. You can kind of see where the boobs are supposed to go. Look at it, it's already so cute. Like, I'm already happy with the like silhouette. So I'm gonna flip this inside out because I want this to be on the inside of this. So that way, if you were to look inside the top, it would just be pure black. And then the outside, look, I like it is. The original pattern has these like huge pockets that go here on the outside. And I don't want to do that. I want to add pockets that are hidden and go in. I went ahead and I cut out my pockets, which was just, I can't even talk right now, which was just 4 pieces of material. And I just kind of traced out my hand. And then all I have to do is attach just a little bit, I can do this, attach these to the skirt as I am putting the skirt together, and I will show you how I put these pockets in because I definitely love a pocket, and I hate telling myself I'm gonna do it later because I never do it later. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. So here's the side of the skirt, and it's supposed to line up right here. As you can see, there's no line there. It's way back here, back by my butt. I was really hoping not to have to do any unstitching. I feel like in every project I've created, I've always had to do some kind of unstitching, so I'm going to have to do some unstitching for this one as well. So, as you can see, I have these 2 pleats right here in the front, and I'm just going to go ahead and unstitch here off to the right and off here to the left. I'm gonna add 2 more pleats to the front, which is going to take in the skirt a little bit and make it smaller, which will make it fit much better. Okay, let's add these extra pleats.
This is actually how I make any waistband if there is not a pattern for one included. So first I measure the width of my skirt, adding 5/8 seam allowance on each side. Then I take that measurement and I mark it on the material I want to cut out for my waistband. I initially made one too small and I ended up having to make another waistband that was 3.5 inches wide. Using my rotary cutter, I cut this piece out, and then using this as a template, I cut out an interfacing piece as well. Then I baste stitch those pieces together to create one piece. I will also serge one of the sides of the waistband. I then fold over the serge side about 5/8 of an inch and press. I then attach the raw side of the waistband to the inside of the skirt and stitch, and then serge the raw edges. Then I can flip the waistband to the pretty side of the skirt and pin it down and do a top stitch. And voila, it's done. And now to finish the skirt. I just lay one side over the top of the other, marking how much I want the top to open for the buttons and how much I want the bottom to open so that I can walk. I then stitch in between those two marks, and now I can add buttons and buttonholes. For the corseted top, it only had 3 pieces, so for the lining piece, I put the 2 side pieces right sides together and lined up all the notches and stitched. I did the same thing to the outer part of the top. In the underlining part, I added the casings for the boning. I used some white double-folded bias tape and put it along the side seams and added 2 to the front and 2 to the back. Then I stitched close to the edge of each one and created my casings. Then I used black zip ties for my boning. I put right sides together of the outer bodice and the lining with the boning, and I stitched across the top and the bottom, leaving the sides open so I can add a zipper later. With the ends still open, I serged them and then I flipped those ends inside and gave them a good press. Then I sandwiched the zipper in between the 2 layers and I pinned. I did this to both sides, making sure they were completely even. Then I stitched the zipper to the back of the bodice and it was complete. And it is completely done. Are you ready for the reveal?
I see you shiver with anticipation.
I'm so excited with how this turned out. It is so cute. So as I was making it, I put the buttons in the back. This is actually the back of the skirt, and this is the front of the skirt. But after I was done and I was trying it on, I realized that the pockets actually go either way because I didn't do a top stitch over it yet. So in essence, I've made this skirt reversible, and I think I actually like wearing it with the buttons in the front more than I like them being in the back. And since I added the extra pleat in the back, it kind of gives more booty room. So I'm super happy with it. It is so cute. I cannot, like, this is my favorite modernized outfit. I would definitely wear this anywhere. Like, I'm going to be wearing this, and the skirt is so thick because I have that extra black layer up underneath it that it's gonna be totally warm for the fall and the winter, and especially if I'm wearing like leggings underneath, which I am, as you can see. So the only issue I have is that every now and then I'm snagging on this material or the stitches that I created. So I'm hoping that does not become an issue down the road, but otherwise, like, mommy like. I am in love. I love this top. It is one of my favorite corseted tops, and what I love about it is that I put a zipper in it, so it's super easy to get in and out of. So if you decide to make a top like this with the paint that I used, which is a fabric paint, know that I put heat directly on it and it smears. So I recommend putting a layer of material between the glue or the paint and a hot iron before you iron it. Unfortunately, I did not do that, and don't quote me on that, by the way, so I don't know if any heat will melt it or if me putting something over it would have helped it. It still could have melted it. I'm not 100% sure. My thought is that it wouldn't melt if I had had a piece of material between it, but I did not. So I'm saying it melts. There you go. But what I love about this is that you can wear it just as is, or you can wear it as a costume. I cannot, like, this is my favorite thing that I think I've made this year. I think I've said that before, but this time I really mean it, because look how cute this is. I'm so excited to wear this when I go looking for my pumpkin this year, because we are going to look for pumpkins soon to carve, and I'm gonna wear this. And I have the perfect purse. I mean, this is like the quintessential Halloween outfit. It is perfect. And it's just so Sally inspired. And if you get up close, you can see all of the stitching that's in the bodice as well as in the skirt. It's so cute. I'm so in love with this. I wouldn't say this was one of my easiest things I've ever made, but I would say that it challenged me. And it would have been easy if I didn't have to create all this patchwork on it. That was the challenging part. Otherwise, putting the pockets in, and this pattern in general is actually one of the most easiest patterns I've ever worked with. I absolutely love this pattern. So if you guys decide to use it, I highly recommend it. Definitely make this pattern dress, whether you're gonna keep it, separated, or you're gonna make just one dress. It's a highly recommend. It's an amazing pattern. But the pattern pieces, putting that together, I did have to spend many a night trying to figure out how I was gonna do that. So I think I did a good job. Like, I think I figured it out, and it turned out really cute. So don't you just love it when something just turns out exactly as you had hoped and maybe even exceeds your expectations? I always find that so amazing. I'm just so proud. I love it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what you guys think of this modern Sally outfit down in the comments below, and I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys again soon.